All right. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome. It is Monday, August 29th, and it is our weekly team Zoom. We are also in week 2 of our 90-day game plan. So I'm really excited to hear how everyone is doing. Hello, Laura. How everyone's doing with their game plan. So as always, we'll start out with some victories and shares, how the week's been going and how things have been playing out for you with the focus and all that of the 90-day game plan.
Jen and I met on Saturday after work, Stephanie. So we sat down and started hashing out a strategy for working on our 90-day. I worked on my. I listened to Tracy O'Malley. Saturday that was just a phenomenal call, and also got through that Eric Gorey 10 Habits. Thank you very much for posting both of those. That was really, really valuable. And then today I started to actually reach out to people and start to send messages and stuff like that. So it's good.
Excellent. So
I'm pumped.
Excellent. Well, great for you guys. And this is going to be a very good training then, because we're going to be talking about some really cool NLP approaches, etc. All right. Penny, do you want me to brag or do you want to?
You can, and then I can say something I learned.
Okay, well, I have to say Miss Penny has just been rocking everything. She had, not last week, the week before, her best week in a while. And it's just the beginning of many, many more wonderful weeks like that. And then last week we did 2 3-way Zooms with some people who were in the VIP group, and both those people decided to jump on board. So one was a president's pack and one was a 30-day system. So Penny also got double PIBs, and I think some other people in here did as well. I did, which was exciting, and it was from indirectly sort of from the Whisper campaign, because a gal who was on my chicken list, who I hadn't even ever approached, because she's married to a millionaire and she's a Pilates instructor and she's super fit already. She actually, of her own accord, found our group and asked to join it. And she joined it, and a day later she messaged me, said, so how do I get this and how fast can I get it? And when we talked yesterday, she started also with the President's Pack, and I said, so had you heard of Isagenix before? She said, oh yeah, and you've never told me about it. So it was such a reminder that, even the people we're scared to talk to, they're looking for a solution. And she loves the community. She just loves being part of it. I also, for those of you who saw, added a friend from who I approached 11 years ago when I very, very first started. James, Valana. And she said she so vividly remembered the conversation. So you guys, these conversations you're having now, have them in a powerful way. She said, we went for a walk in this beautiful area by the river in Calgary. And she said, I remember you saying, I'm taking this to 6 figures. Mm-hmm. And I remember you pointed to those houses. I'm going to be able to afford to buy one of those beautiful houses. And this is how I'm doing it. And she kind of didn't believe in me. And I don't know, but I think she wishes now that yes at the time. But she's in the group now, so we'll see what happens. So anyway, it was a great week. And Penny, what did you want to share?
Oh, I was just going to say that I was, more focused last week and this week than, especially this past week, than I have been in a really, really long time. And even with how much focus I had and how much I did, it showed me that I've been underestimating how much time it takes to do some of the things, like messaging some of the people. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to message 10 people in 4 hours. And sometimes that's not realistic. So I'm learning where I need to hone my skills so I can get faster and more efficient at some things. And also where I need to actually allow more time for some things. Just so I can, like I said, be more efficient. And it gave me a really good idea like if I get an enrollment by Wednesday, that's the last day of the month. And this will be a reminder for anyone else that's in this position. You might have already reached it, but I haven't had 5 enrollments in 1 month in a really, really long time. And if I get one more enrollment by Wednesday, that'll be the first time I've had that in forever. But it reminded me of, like, based on the goal that I set for my first 30 days, I need to step it up a lot. Like I maybe need to add more time of what I even thought I was going to allow a day if I want to keep my goal at what it is and reach it, or I need to decrease my goal if I want to keep my time the same. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
And a couple of things I'd love to say. I'd love for you to just reframe it and say when I get my next enrollment by Wednesday instead of
When I get my next enrollment by Wednesday. Thank you.
And also that whole lowering your goals. Just remember what Eric Worre said. You know, if your goal is up here and you get here, it's still better than if your goal is down here and you get here. So,
Right. And I was kind of being sarcastic about that.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I'm not going to lower my goal, but it kind of really showed me those are your only 2 choices. Like you need to step it up, you know, because I'm not going to lower my goal. So, but yeah.
has anyone else had kind of an aha about, are you guys all tracking on page, hang on a sec. Hang on.
52.
Is it 52?
That's this week.
Yeah.
It always takes me an hour to find it.
Are you guys doing page 51 is week 2, but on mine anyway. Anyone have kind of an aha about, I see why I'm not having the results I'm not having because I had a big eye opener about not talking to enough new people and not getting in front of enough people. So, you know, I really am forcing myself to get out. Like today, I actually made an appointment, had lunch with a girl I met who I just added to the VIP group. And I was very direct with her. I told her why I wanted to meet with her. But first we talked probably for 40 minutes about why she wanted to take the real estate course, why it was important for her to create a residual income, why, like all of that stuff we're going to get into on the training. So it's been a huge eye opener. Anyone else? Lauren?
Yeah, for me, I mean, I had some pretty lofty weekly goals, and with the first week of school last week, I just could not figure out how to get back into the groove and figure everything out. And so when I was going through everything last night, I was just like, oh my God. It was pretty sad, not in a bad way, but it just is so eye-opening because it's like, okay, I didn't do any of that. So yeah, so kind of hit the ground running a little bit more today.
And, you know, it's interesting. Thank you for sharing that and for being, you know, transparent. It's interesting because sometimes I think, oh, well, you know, I can catch it up. I have way more time on Thursday. I can't catch it up.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not doing this stuff daily, catching up is almost like follow-ups. Yes, I can certainly catch up or touching base with people, but those connections to catch up that many, if you don't do it every day, I'm finding it a little tougher. So that daily consistent action is great. Anyone else want to share so far what's been going on? Victories, learnings from their 90-day game plan?
I'll go.
Okay.
I've been doing mine as a 1 by 1 by 1, and I've been writing down every person that I talk to every day and making a point to add 15 new Facebook friends. So I've so far completed most of it. I only have a few more Facebook friends to go. And I just trying to rekindle old relationships and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice.
That's fantastic. And we talked about that. And that's good. That's doable. And you're doing it consistently. And adding the Facebook friends is huge. That's really fantastic because you're going to have new eyes. Somebody has either, I don't know if it's a TV on or something going on in the background. So if you could either mute yourself or turn off whatever you have going on.
Stephanie, can you hear me?
Yes.
After last week post, the Facebook post, I got 84 likes, and I contacted about 40 of them, and I had sent videos, and I think I'm going to be busy the next 2 weeks.
That is fantastic.
Very busy the next 2 weeks.
And I think you're talking about the Whisper campaign post, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys, if you haven't joined us yet, I can't say enough. Join in. That post I had, actually 3 people are now in the Facebook group because of that. I had over 100 likes, which I haven't had on a post in forever. And the likes I had were from people that never click like on anything I post and never comment on anything I post. So it's getting seen by, that tells me it's getting seen by a new audience, because we are definitely messing with the algorithm of Facebook. I think, Megan, you found the same thing, right? A much higher response. And the ones I looked at.
Yeah, it was huge. And it was people that, like you said, never post or do anything that I haven't heard from. So I reached out to some of them, was like, hey, thank you for the great response or the kind words. I don't know that I've heard back from some of them, but at least it started, you know, like I found with Facebook, especially, you have to message them a couple times, because some people just don't check it. And I guess my big takeaway is momentum builds momentum, because today I was reached out to an old friend, and I totally didn't think about it, but she's a manager at a health spa. And I really was approaching her about it. And she's like, well, she took it as I was asking her to come into the spa to do stuff, which I didn't even think about. So we're meeting at lunch on Thursday to talk about potentially doing once a month things up there. So yeah, we'll see where it goes, but build momentum.
That's fantastic. And you guys, when you think about it, we've only done 2 weeks of this, and how many times do people have to see something before it starts to register? I don't know if you guys saw that post that I copied. I think it was about a week or so ago. It was from a gentleman that I'm taking some social media training from. And he said, you know, the first 3 times people see it, they don't even register it. The 4th time they might kind of go, oh, that's interesting. And then maybe the 5th, 6th time they might actually read it and really register it. And it just takes that repetition. So has everyone seen the post I made about the upcoming weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions about everyone? Really good and clear on that?
I have a couple questions.
Check it
Like,
out.
I have a question. I was
Yes.
just wondering, like, when people start to like and comment and stuff on these pictures, what kind of way do you guide them? Like, do you show them to a video? And if so, which video do you show them? Or, like, how do you...
That is a great question, and we're going to get a little bit into that with the NLP training. And it's perfect that you brought that up, because a lot of times our tendency is immediately to pounce into sharing information mode instead of doing some exploration and, you know, what caught your eye, and asking those kind of questions. But I'm still, generally speaking, 9 times out of 10, I'm still about getting people into the Facebook group. I'm starting to now integrate and that's something, so I'm glad you brought that up. I'm now starting to integrate more of the ISA sales tools to go app, which is fabulous. So what I think I'm going to start doing so that it works hand in hand is putting people in the group, sharing the Just Cleanse video, because that one isn't in the app. And then through the app, sharing other little bits of information, you know, just maybe a piece of the lookbook, because the lookbook is now broken down into our solution segments. And I love it, because that gal I added into the VIP group, even though I shared a video there, I sent her the lookbook. She's now been to that three times. She's clicked on that link to look at it, and it tells us that. So yeah. So
the interesting thing is that every time that somebody sees it, you get a notification that they saw the video.
yeah.
So can you repeat that, Stephanie, how you're using that with the VIP group then?
So this just came up for me today, because I thought, so for example, the gal I met with today, I thought, oh, the Start Your Life video is really the perfect video to share with her, although she does have health goals. So when I added her to Very Inspired People, I did the Just Cleanse, but she also was interested in the business. So I'm going to then also text her the start video. And then she was also interested for her dad, because her dad has 100 pounds to release. So I'm going to send her the weight loss part of the lookbook. Just little bit, not to, you know, not all at once, but just to kind of keep that conversation going. And I think it's such a perfect add-on, because a lot of times people get added to the VIP group and then they're just in there, right? They're kind of just in there, and we hope they're reading stuff, but we don't know if they're reading stuff really. So I think that will show us certainly the level of involvement and interest that people have there.
Okay.
Stephanie, how many at a time?
Oh, one at a time.
Only one video at a time? Because I've been sending the Are You Toxic, which is the very basic one, Are You Toxic? But also one that you shared with me, the one that Why Doctors Recommend Isagenix. And for me, from doctor to other people, that has worked pretty well.
Yeah, I just think it allows you to just keep that conversation going. If maybe you send one every day or two or something, instead of, oh my God, I got to watch 2 videos. I don't have time right now. And maybe they've missed the first one, but they'll watch the second one. So yeah. And again, it depends on their goals, what their goals are, what their why is. All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, Steph, I just want to add to what you were saying. You know, probably the most important thing you said in what you send is, you know, she was looking for this and she's looking for this for her dad, and she mentioned this and mentioned that, which means, you know, it's all about those early conversations and those questions that you're such an expert at, to ask those and have the conversations before you send anything, so you actually know what there is to send. So you know, I mean, it's your gift, and you're brilliant at it, and I think you often sort of go by that piece because it's just second nature to you. But you know, to me, it's the critical piece, because how would you know what to share with somebody unless you've had the conversation? So you know, I really get how critically important the asking questions and being engaged with somebody is first. So.
Yeah, thank you for emphasizing that, putting that in that role, James. And Penny and I had that conversation, very similar conversation, and it was about, okay, I think I'm going to send such and such. I said, but wait, have you asked this and have you asked this? And it's like, oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, that's something that, you know, and I kind of, you guys know, those of you who know me, and I know Penny, you have something to share. You know how much I love analogies. So let's say you were in car sales and you were touching base with people because you just got into car sales. And if people said, oh, what do you do? Or you were at a party and somebody said, what do you do? And you say, I'm in car sales. Oh, that's nice. You wouldn't go into a whole pitch and talk about the engine. And so you got to come to my showroom and I want to sell you a car, if they didn't say I'm in the market for a car. So why do we tend to do that here? I think we so often put the cart before the horse, and you know, we start offering a solution to someone before they've even expressed that they have a problem or are seeking a solution. So, Penny.
I was just going to ask, I thought that's interesting that Pedro said he was sending messages to some of the people that liked his post. And I was just curious what he sent to the people that liked his post versus people that made a comment and said, what are you doing? Or something like that.
Yeah, well, I try to hook up with them. You know, I send them a message, a private message, not a Facebook message. I send them a private message that said, I think I have something really, really interesting that you might very well be interested in. So please give me a call or tell me which is the best time for me to give you a call. And most of them said, okay, yeah, tomorrow, give me a call tomorrow, or you can call me right now. And I give them a call, and I just booked one person, one of my OR technicians, and she's interested in losing weight. So I said, okay, fine, I think I have a solution for you. That's what you need. I'm going to send you a short video so that you can see and why doctors recommend for you to use Isagenix. And she saw it, and when I talked to her just 15 minutes before the call, I just signed her up, you know.
But you found out that she was looking to lose weight. You didn't just say, oh, hey, thanks for liking my post. Here's a video. You actually had a conversation.
Yeah. I always emphasize the 4 pillars, you know, losing weight, wealth creation, performance, and healthy aging. And I said, well, I'm in it for 3 of them. You might be in for 2. You might be in for weight loss and wealth creation. I'm in for wealth creation, losing weight, and for healthy aging. So I'm in for 3.
Yeah.
3 out of 4.
Yes, yeah.
That's good.
Sorry, with the Whisper campaign, sorry, just back to that really quick. You had your why as inclusive and why as in personal? What did you mean by inclusive?
That was the whole training. We did that whole training on it. Remember, you guys, that was the last week's training, and you guys had to post your personal line, your inclusive why for the homework. So,
But that's where we're confused. Like for the Whisper campaign, what do you mean by an inclusive why?
well, what's
Give
your
me
guys'
an example?
What's your inclusive why?
What do you mean by inclusive, though?
Beyond yourself, your bigger
Well,
vision that might that connects with the world beyond yourself.
Okay, that's what I was trying to explain.
Yeah. So what? So it's a little. I gotcha. And it can be. It doesn't have to be your actual full, 3 or 4 sentences inclusive why, but it's. I guess if we had to simplify it, and thank you, Paul. It would be what's the impact you want to make, or why you're doing it for yourself is the second week or 2 weeks, whatever. Not tomorrow, the next one. Why you're doing it for yourself, and why are you sharing it with other people? I guess if that does that make sense?
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And if anyone, I love that. By the way, you guys, I made a folder in our business group that is called the Whisper Campaign folder. So if you can always post them in there as well, because I want to then do a collage actually once we have a whole bunch of them. Plus, if you want to, run it by people like Paul, you did that, and Penny gave you some great feedback. So we're certainly happy to help with that. So awesome. All right. Well, if we're not anything else, I'm going to jump into the training. Now, of course, I did it in a new program, so now.
Make sure I said it right. I can do some stay on it. I put that on there.
Does anyone know on the Mac Keynote how to play the slideshow actually?
And I put this on time.
Play.
That's the stuff, but I haven't tasted it yet.
And what is it?
All right, we'll see if this works. All right, are we seeing the words?
Yep.
Great. So vision boards is something we did not talk about last week. So thank you so much, Dawn and Leanne, for posting yours and reminding me about the importance of vision boards. You guys, I'm a huge fan. We have ours actually hanging in the garage because that's where the feng shui lady had us hang it. But I just realized now I don't have it in front of me, so I'm going to take a picture of it so that I can have it. And vision boards can look in so many different ways. Don't compare. Don't wait. I used to always it's not perfect. There's blank spots, and I'm still missing a picture of this. So just get your vision board done and get it visible. So this is one example. So, some people have lots of pictures. Some people have lots of words. It just depends on what works for you. So there's no right or wrong way to do a vision board. This is a really interesting one, and it's just, I thought that was really cool and unusual. So just whatever works for you is a good vision board. It can be small, big. It can be done in a file folder, on a poster board. There are things, programs online you can do it. You could do it in a Word document or a PowerPoint or whatever works for you. All right, so we're going to get into a little bit of NLP. And here's the thing that when talking to people, and we've already touched on this several times, if we really understand what a person values and why they want to do something, then we have all kinds of leverage then. So do you guys, is anyone familiar with the term NLP or know what it means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you just define that? Just for the benefit of
Yeah.
defining what that word is.
So it's neuro-linguistic programming, and I'm not certified in this or anything. I'm just, again, teaching what I learned from Susan. But it's really shifting someone's neurology and really getting to and helping people get into an emotional state. And one of the biggest things, again, is finding out why people, like, for example, when you guys make a power post or people are responding, finding out why they responded. So tell me, what did you connect with? What is your goal for your health, etc.? And then getting permission to share. But okay, with NLP, people buy for emotional reasons. They might buy out of fear, like their fear of missing out, fear of their health really going really, really badly, fear of loss. Love is another emotion people might buy from because they finally love themselves enough, or they care about their kids so much and want to be a better mom. But it's really getting that to that emotional state, and that comes from asking a lot of questions. And all of this starts with us before we're even having these conversations, though, is our intent and our belief has to be really pure and 100%. And the belief in the product it's beyond knowing that it works because you've had a transformation. It also is believing the value of the product. If you're someone who's getting objections or pushback about price, or you think it's too expensive to lead with the bigger packs, or people can't afford the President's pack, then you truly don't have 100% belief in the value. And maybe you need to listen to some of the science podcasts, or learn about how our products are manufactured, etc., just to build that belief so that 100% what you're offering has the values there. And being prepared. We have to be prepared really to do a presentation at the drop of a hat. So are you a professional? Do you always have your tools with you? A lookbook, and I'm not a big believer in spending a ton of money on tools, you guys. We don't, because there's so many free tools, but the lookbook is a fantastic tool. Today, when I sat with that girl at lunch, I had a lookbook, I had a catalog, basically. And she looked through both, and the lookbook was really powerful. It's so visual. The ISA Tools Go app, like I said, I've just started using. Having enrollment forms. How many of you have printed out your 20 enrollment forms? Or how many ever you decided to print out for this challenge? It's setting that intention. And every time I do that and I print out the enrollment forms, I fill them up. I end up using them. The people show up. It may sound silly, but pens, I have been out without a pen, and it's really embarrassing. Again, I don't think we need to hand out a ton of samples, but today this gal is a hairstylist. She was just lamenting, sometimes goes all day without eating. I did happen to have one of the new vegan bars with me, so I was able to share that with her, or you might give them a chocolate or a hydrate or something. And of course, a notebook so you can keep track of people. All right, so there are 3 types of presentations. One is spontaneous, when you have to be prepared regardless, but it's not planned. Maybe you're at the gym. I know or go to the gym quite frequently. I think Jennifer does too. And somebody might strike up a conversation saying, oh, wow, you're looking good. Or, oh, I see you're drinking something from your little shaker bottle. What's in there? That is actually a mini little presentation that you're going to have to do. Now, not to start selling or pitching, but to start having that conversation, to start asking questions. So something's in the spontaneous, you've got to be able to share your 30-second story at an appropriate time. If they say, oh, wow, what's that thing you're drinking? Oh, it's this great workout stuff that I use. You got to hear my story. No, you want to say, it's a pre-workout drink that I use that I really love. It's all natural. What do you use? Do you use any supplements? How long have you been coming to the gym? What are your goals? Like, ask questions. So spontaneous can happen, like Al said, when I met those guys in an elevator. We probably had a 2.5-minute conversation from the elevator ride, and then walking off the elevator, and then connected on Facebook, which reminds me, they make a note, I got to follow up with that guy. All right, semi-expected might be, let's say you're meeting a friend for lunch and they know that you're doing isogenics, or they know you're doing something, you're working on a project or up to something, and they're going to expect that you might talk to them at that point. And then, of course, planned is, today was a planned one because she knew that we were going to that I wanted to share information with her. So like I said, spontaneous, in the gym, in an elevator, buying clothes, and you're saying, oh my gosh, I'm buying smaller clothes because my pants are falling off. Oh wow, what are you doing? It's just spontaneous little moments that you can work in. Semi-expected, having coffee with a friend, a lunch, a walk, and they know that you're up to something, they're going to expect it, and the planned one. But what is it? So talking about things that are universal problems that people can relate to. So what are some universal problems that people can relate to? I think you guys are unmuted for the most part.
Energy.
Energy, being exhausted. Yeah, for sure. And especially, I'm sure, in your field.
Yes.
They want to lose weight. They want to lose weight.
Weight, overweight, obesity.
They want to make some money.
Make some money.
How about an extra 500, 1,000, or 1,500 a month?
Yeah. So, so you might say something like, how, and this is a very effective kind of seed technique. You know how teachers are just always exhausted and so stressed out because we're overworked and we don't seem to have the energy for our own family. Well, I found something that's actually offered a solution for that. It helps me with my energy, helps me maintain my weight, and it just helps me be a happier mom or something. So that you know how people just are living paycheck to paycheck and sometimes barely even making it paycheck to paycheck. Well, what we have is a solution that helps people. So it's the how, and then universal problems we can relate to. You know how obesity is such an epidemic, or there's so many women who just can't drop that last 10, 20 pounds. Right? So the how. And then what are the common solutions that don't work? And this, when you talk about the common solutions that don't work, you're almost kind of overcoming objections. Do you guys still hear something?
There's noise in the background.
Yes, what is that?
I was
What is
just going
that?
to ask if you can mute
Does
it.
somebody have a radio or a TV on, or?
Something's on somewhere.
Thought it was your other personality trying to get the floor and speak.
I think it's gone now. So if someone muted, thank you. So for example, so you know how people are so exhausted and they keep trying different energy drinks, and that just makes you even crash and burn more, and it burns out your adrenals. Or you know how people are trying all these expensive diets or injections or things that are dangerous, and they just yo-yo and it doesn't work. So we don't want to ever put down other companies necessarily, but you want to mention other things that they either are thinking of trying or maybe have tried. You know how they people try some of those like really expensive food delivery programs, and they're spending $1,500 a month and cooking their food in a microwave and just not feeling satisfied. So talk to people about the possible solutions that don't work. And then the common thought, even if people aren't asking it, is what is our solution and why is it different? Well, a lot of people by now have heard of something called intermittent fasting, or you can say, you guys have heard me say this, like, how we live in, and I used this today. I said, how we live in a really toxic, polluted world? And Shakanda said, yes. And I said, and our food supply is so depleted of nutrients. Yes. Well, our program addresses both of those issues with a simple system. Why is our solution different? It's backed by science. There's research, results, etc. Okay. And then stories. And this is really key. And I know there are people on this call who have said, I don't really have a big story, or I don't really have a big weight loss story. Then use someone else's story. The team's stories. So if you're talking to a guy like this, you might say, oh my gosh, there's a story there's a friend or a colleague that I work with, Dr. Paul Beyondich, and he's same thing. He just couldn't get rid of, he had this little, belly fat that he could never get rid of. And let me pull up a picture or share his story with you. Share a story that's relevant to them, because that's really, really, really important. So telling stories, and painting a picture of what's possible for people in a way that's relevant to them. If somebody wants to drop 10 pounds, you're not going to share Joe Burr's story who dropped 131 pounds. So make sure that you know enough people's stories, and then provide proof. You don't have to necessarily pull this out, although at a meeting you might want to. I just heard somebody on the call, they said at meetings they actually have the laminated research study. They have it laminated and they hand it around to people. Now, people may not read it, but wow, just to be able to say we're backed by science. You know, we have the effects are the people want to talk about what do you do for maintenance. The maintenance on our program is incredible, and it's backed by science. We have scientific research that shows that. And I think that's really important. Oh, and there's a slide missing here. All right, let me stop the share and see if I can find what I wanted to share with you guys. Hold on. Here it is. Okay. So this is really the biggest key. There is never a presentation or sharing of information or offering people a solution until you know what that person values and you ask that, why is that important to you? So if somebody says, I really, really want to drop that last 20 pounds of baby weight. Well, how long have you been trying to do that? What else have you tried? Why is that important to you? That is such a powerful question. And this is a question that I'm definitely excited to start using because it's something that is relevant even with people's goals in the business. Somebody wants to become a consultant. Awesome. Why is that important to you? And really understanding why they want to do something they want to do, because then when they're not taking the action steps to get them to that goal, you can always bring them back. You know, so if somebody says, I'm so tired of that baby weight, none of my clothes fit, and I'm just sick of it. And why is that important to you? Because I want to get my energy back. I want to feel sexy again for my husband. I want, whatever their reasons are. And when you have the answer, you can say something, if we can get you started, getting that 20 pounds off, feeling sexy again, and feeling amazing, would you like to know more about how to get that done?
Ooh,
and again, if you have explored enough and found out why would they not want to learn more? Why would they not want to find out more? And that's what's going to actually give you the permission to then share a video or hi Christine, a video or a tool or having them in the group, etc.
Say that again. If we could get you started XYZ, would you like to know more?
So get their answer, whatever answer you're getting, and then say, what if we can get you started with blank? Would you like to know more about how to get that done or how we can achieve that? Another little tidbit I heard, another question, if people are responding to your posts, this is really good. Tell me, what did you connect with on that post? And what is your goal for your health? And can I share with you what I've experienced? But I love that. Tell me, what did you connect with? That's just, I just feel so, like such connecting language. And then, sharing information so we can get this transformation started for you. Or are you ready to get this, once you go through the process of sharing information, are you ready to get this transformation started? And that's something else that and Penny, maybe you can share if you remember about that whole conversation of, we get people to a certain point and they're excited and it all makes sense. And then we don't actually collect the decision or ask them that question of where are you on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1, you're crazy, this is not for me at all, and 10 is like, gosh, I wish I had started yesterday. Where do you see yourself right now? And giving people permission to be wherever they are. And if they're if they're less than an 8 or 9, saying, what would it take then to have you? Are there questions we can get answered for you in order to help you make a decision to say yes? Does that make sense? All right. So that's kind of it on the NLP stuff. And there, you know, neuro-linguistic programming is very powerful. And like I said, I don't claim in any way to be an expert. Susan's very, very masterful with that. But there's, you know, the languaging of imagine, what if, and it's getting people to that place of where they would like to be and painting the picture for them of what is possible with this and how we can take them there or get them there. So yeah, so that's it. So we'll just finish up with any takeaways and or questions.
So, Stephanie, who is the person you're getting the Facebook training from? These are really good lines there. You know, if I could start you with this, or you know, tell me, how did you connect with that post? I like those lines; they're really good. Who is the person who's helping you?
Sorry, who's what?
Who is the person who's helping you with your Facebook training? I like some of the information you've shared with us tonight about. Tell me.
This isn't from him. This is just from our CEO training.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, this isn't specifically from him.
Okay, that's good.
But his name, he has a page called the Social Media. Hang on a sec. What is it? Social Media. Adventure Social Coach.
Adventure
Social Coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll do a takeaway. The part about the posts when people, I'm sorry, Paul, are you finished?
Yeah, you can go ahead, Lawrence. Go ahead.
So in the past, what I've done with people liking or commenting on my posts, I would say, usually I'll just say, thanks so much for, you know, commenting on my post. I'd love to hear what you liked about it. And I think when you use the words, so what did you connect with? I think that completely changes what their answer is going to be, because they could just say anything that they liked about it. It doesn't necessarily mean they connected with it.
Yeah.
So I think when you use that wording, it'll bring more about themselves and, you know, like it says, what they connected with. So.
Yeah.
That's a really good way out.
Because how many times have you guys, you know, gotten some interest or like, or somebody asked a question and you immediately go into sending them info? Anyone else done that ever?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's
exciting.
So just, you know, a little note that I will not put the cart before the horse. I will not put the cart before the horse. Whatever way you want to say that, to remind yourself. And it's, you know, it's really comes from that place of how to serve someone. And how can you serve someone if you don't know what they want? Right? So if somebody, you know, my son's in the restaurant business, if somebody comes into your restaurants, just because they sit down at the table doesn't mean you should start bringing out dishes of food. They should even find out what they want. Hungry. Maybe I would want more cheese, for example. So, and it's all about the exploring of that. Anyway,
Hey,
thank you.
I think too, actually, now that you say that, having our VIP page is kind of a way to buffer that a bit, to ease them into it. And maybe that's a way we can all stay in more contact with the people that we are adding to VIP, and not so, sure, we would love them to sign up and everything too, but, you know, even sending them a message, say, are you enjoying our Facebook group? Like, you know, what is it about our Facebook group that you're enjoying?
Yeah, you want to, the first question is a yes or no question, but yes, asking what is it you're enjoying, or how are you enjoying our group or something. Absolutely. And we do have those, that's where those three-way chats come in, when you follow all the steps of adding people. But yeah, it's a great way to, you don't want to just put them in there and then, you know, leave the store, so to speak. You definitely want to still know that you care about them, and you want to, you want to know. And do you have any questions? Did you get a chance to review the video? There are so many people who, because of all the welcomes, the actual video, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, I'm actually waiting to put the video in after a few of the welcomes are in there now. because it gets buried, and then they don't even see that you put a video in there because they just see a bunch of welcomes. So check in with them. Hey, I know Facebook doesn't always notify people. Did you see all those lovely welcomes that everyone posted? Yes, awesome. Did you see that there was a video I put in the first comment? Did you get a chance to see that? So it just keeps that conversation. You keep touching people. It's like those that breadcrumb trail, or that was the training at Celebration.
No. I have a question.
Yes.
When you were talking about the what's the universal problem that people can relate to, and so first you were saying it was about the universal problem, and then it was what are the common solutions that don't work, and then what is our solution that does work. So is the scenario, again, I know they're all going to be different, but in general, is the hope that you would have you know how teachers are always exhausted? Well, I found something that helps me not be exhausted like that. And then the next thing is I go to you know how teachers are doing those energy drinks all the time to try to stay energy. Well, I found do you hit all three or just one of them? Do you just pick one, or do you maybe use all three? Not always. Does that make sense?
I think it's just going to be on a case-by-case basis, you know? I don't know.
Well, so what I'm asking is the intention of the training that in most scenarios, it's going to be one of these three approaches that you take. It's either going to be addressing the universal problem or common solutions that don't work, or why our solutions are different, or that we might be touching on all three.
No, it one leads to the next. So
okay.
Discuss
Okay.
universal problems that people can relate to.
Okay.
And what are some of the common solutions that people might try? And then why, because everyone in the back of their head is thinking, well, why is your program different? Or why is this any different? So, yeah.
Okay.
You might not say the way our program is different is, you know,
Right.
but
Right.
yeah. Or you could say something like what sets us apart, or what I love about our program is it's all natural. And, you know, there are other companies that to cut corners and cut costs, they put in artificial sweeteners and fillers and all kinds of things that really aren't good for our bodies. And you don't have to mention, oh, you know, the H company, they use soy and all kinds of crap. You just say other companies.
Yeah. And I know we haven't done this in a long time, but I was thinking it might be good to, with some of these things, just to do some role plays, to practice using some of that languaging. Maybe we don't have time today, but maybe, and I don't know if we have time on these calls or not. Like Lauren and Megan and I were going to do that with something different, but just to get used to asking, why is that important to you? I mean, that's just a matter of practicing it over and over and over again. So.
Well, absolutely. And we have 5 minutes. So anybody else want to hear a role play? I love role plays.
Sure. Fire
And
away,
we
guys.
didn't even plan this. And I was actually going to ask you, Penny, if we could do some of that. So let's, who wants to provide the scenario?
All right, Penny. Stephanie. I'm so tired and exhausted, and I also need to lose 30 pounds because it won't come off.
Okay, so but what's the scenario?
Is that what do you want?
So let's say I made a Facebook post. Let's take it all the way back to I made a Facebook post and you said something on the post. Okay. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I would on the post, and this is another step that a lot of people miss, on the wall, on the public wall, I would say, "Hey Megan," and tag you and say, "I'm sending you a private message." Because that, again, if you up in the newsfeed, other people who have commented might see, oh, she's sending her a private. I wonder what that's about. It just keeps that curiosity going. And also, when people comment, and I've seen that on some of the Whisper campaign posts, there were people who commented and asked questions, and there was no visible response. So it looks like you're ignoring those people. And I know even if you message them, but it looks like you're ignoring them on Facebook. So be sure to always do that step of, "Hey, Megan, I'll message you," or "Hey, Penny, I'll just, I'm going to give you a call tonight," or something. Just acknowledge them. And it keeps that curiosity going. So then I might message you and say, so Megan, I don't know, how do we know each other? I guess that isn't really as relevant. So what is it that caught your interest about my post?
You just look so happy and vibrant in that post. I just was amazed at how you just look so good. I mean, it's been so long since we connected, and you look like you haven't aged a day.
Aw, well, thank you. Well, you know what, can we, so we're messaging right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, if you write, we haven't connected in a while, when's a great time and number? What's a good time and number that I could reach you on? Because I would love to chat with you.
You can call me Wednesday afternoon.
Okay, great. So then I'm going to call you Wednesday afternoon. I would probably send a calendar request or a reminder of some sort. Hey, let's put this on the calendar. Does 2:00 work? Great. So now I'm calling you. So ring, ring, ring. And now we're offline and on the phone. So calling.
Hey, Penny. How are you doing?
Stephanie.
Or Stephanie. God, sorry. Penny, stop. Go away. Stephanie.
Oh, honey, let me tell you, my brain, our company has this great brain boost stuff, and you really should try it. And I'm going to send you a couple of videos, maybe 5. Can you watch them now? Okay, so that's how not to do it. All right, so Megan, Megan, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's been so long since we connected. What is going on with you?
I'm teaching full-time high school kids. It's crazy. I have 160 kids every day, and I got married, and I have a stepdaughter. I mean, life is just crazy right now. And when I saw your post, you just look like you're laying by the beach every day. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Well, yeah, life is really good. I discovered that some things that are really working quite well for me. But so you said that's what caught your interest. What are your health goals? Like, what are some things that you'd like to see?
Oh my gosh, I would love to lose this 25 pounds I put on. I think it's, I just haven't been able to get to the gym as much as I used to. And it's just frustrating. I think my jeans are shrinking on purpose, but they just keep getting tighter.
Oh my gosh, I can so relate. Do you think what else have you tried to do?
I tried getting rid of the gluten for a while, but that's so hard because then you just have to watch your diet. And then I just eat salads. I eat a lot of salads. My husband's good about that. So we eat salads at night. But then, it's Friday night and we go out for drinks, and then you end up eating the pizza.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So I hear you saying that you're really frustrated and you really are ready kind of for some sort of transformation in your life. And why would you say, why is it important? Why now? And why is it that important to you?
I'm not getting younger, and I just feel like I just get frustrated when I see all friends my age that look great. They've had 2 kids, and I can't figure out what they're doing. And I think it's just really important to my self-image that I lose the weight.
Okay. And why now? Why would you say you're ready now?
I'm frustrated. I'm really frustrated with not losing the weight. It just doesn't come off like it did when I was 22.
Oh God, no. Well, for none of us. I would say none of us, it does that anymore. Well, would it be okay if I shared with you what's been working for me?
Yeah, I would love to hear more.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. Well, you know me. I was the granola mama forever. And despite doing all that and eating clean and taking really good vitamins and everything, I found my health really declined about 12 years ago. And what I didn't know is that stress is super, super toxic to our bodies. And I was introduced to this incredible nutritional program. by a former colleague, and it was pretty incredible how quickly I started to feel better. My, the mental fog lifted and my mood improved, and I just started to like I was getting my mojo back again, and my skin was glowing, and the pounds started to melt off, and I just was amazed. And so now it's something actually I've been on for 11 years, and I've shared with lots of friends, and I can't believe I haven't shared it with you. But since you're on Facebook, I could invite you. We have this private little page. It's called Very Inspired People, and it's all about inspiration, motivation, and education. So there's fitness tips and recipes, and then you can find out about what I'm using and what we're all using just to feel younger and feel amazing. And it may or may not be for you. That's totally cool, but I'd love to share it with you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Good. Okay. So if we're local to each other, I would probably say, you know what, we need to meet. Let's meet so I can show you what I'm up to. We can catch up. We can have a, coffee, lunch, glass of wine, whatever works. And because obviously there's nothing that takes the place of face-to-face and enthusiasm and people seeing how good you look and feel and how happy you are about it. And if somebody's not on Facebook, then you would have to do the presentation a little differently. You could say, share my story, say, so the products that we use are from a company called Isogenics. Have you heard of it?
I have not.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Well, I'm so glad that I'm the first one that you're hearing about it from, because I think we're going to become a household name. So I would love to just share a little video with you that's relevant to what you shared with me that you wanted to attain health-wise. Are you online right now?
I am.
So
I am.
Okay, great. I'll shoot you a text with a link. And if you can watch that, it's really short, so I can call you back in 10 minutes. And if you have any questions, I'll get them answered for you.
Awesome. That sounds great. Thanks, Stephanie.
Pleasure. All right. So is that kind of what you had in mind, Penny?
Yeah, that was great. I have a question though. Like, if you're doing the meeting face-to-face, is your goal to go ahead and tell them about Isogenics there versus just inviting them into the Facebook group? Like, do you want to go ahead and tell them about it and show them the lookbook or show them whatever it is, based on what they've said their needs are, what solution they need? And then after you've been able to do that, you can still add them to the Facebook
That's
group?
exactly what happened today with this Shakonda girl. So we really found out, her why and why she wanted to create residual income and why she wanted what her health goals were. And I said, so just imagine if in 2 weeks your pants are slipping on more easily, because she was saying how her clothes are getting tight. Your pants are slipping on more easily. You're not exhausted in the middle of the afternoon. You're waking up feeling really, really good. And you're just getting your mojo back. What would that be like? And she said, oh my God, I need that. So I didn't feel like she was at a place at that point to enroll. So I thought that then the Facebook group was the next step with her. So she could experience the community, because I talked a lot about our community and the support and the positivity and all of that, how it's not just a matter of we just send you a box of stuff and good luck, but you're going to just have this whole team of people cheering you on and helping you succeed. So you're not, because she tried a couple of other companies, and she said what she didn't like about those is she didn't really get any support. So I wanted her to experience the support and the love in the group and everything. So
with Shakonda, for example, I know that on the welcome, when I said something to her, she had already typed in, I just watched the video. How is this going to help me? Or how can I do, or something. She asked a question. So when y'all were talking, you were really just talking about our goals and about the nutritional program, but you didn't actually show her a video at lunch.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, gotcha.
We looked at the lookbook and the catalog with the product line, I told her about the different categories of solutions. I told her how she could get her money back because finances for her are an issue. But she said she buys a shake every 5 days a week from the Shake Shack or some protein place. And I said, how much does that cost you? She said, about $8. And I said, well, there you go. That's going to almost pay for your program or half your program, depending on which one you start with.
Wow.
And you're only going to be responsible for one meal a day. You're going to have all your and all that, so we did the $20 a day, the $10 a day option, etc. So
Very cool. Thank you.
So does that, sorry, can I just add to what Penny's saying there? So if I'm going to a meeting with somebody, say a coffee, does that mean that I should therefore set the intention of carrying carrying my bag of presentation materials with me when I go for a coffee? Then I should have that stuff with me, right?
absolutely, or at the very least in the car. If they're not expecting you to share anything,
Right.
Yeah. That's part of being a professional, is having your tools with you. And you may sign someone up right on the spot, or you may, advance this kind of through the pipeline of information.
And that's
Okay.
where that ICE's Tools to Go app comes in handy, because the lookbook is on the app. So if you don't want to carry a big bag around, you can also show them the lookbook on your phone or on your iPad or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's something I'm going to be getting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Penny.
All right, we're a little bit after the hour, so final takeaways and we'll wrap it up.
That why is that important to you? That's huge.
Thank you.
I thought you were asking why was it important for us to do a takeaway. But
Why is that important to you, Stephanie?
Why do you care?
Well, you know why? Because I just want to make sure that these calls are actually making a difference, and I'm not just sitting there flapping my lips for no reason.
Sure.
No, they're
you
great.
are making a difference, Stephanie.
You are. Thank you. Honestly.
So
Helps a
let me
lot.
ask you guys, how many of you have new or fairly new cleansers, like in their first month or newer? All right. So how many of you are committed to asking them and sharing with them the sample Facebook posts and doing a little challenge? I know I am. Awesome.
And that's in the business group or the regular group?
The business group.
Okay.
And I think that's because they're not in the business group. You may just have to maybe pick a couple that you think would be relevant for them and say, hey, how about saying something like this? I would also encourage everyone to have their vision board, action board, dream board, whatever you want to call it, and post a picture in the 90-day game plan. And is everyone following along in the 90-day game plan with the back office login, etc.? Good. Oh, and congrats, Penny. You got all 3 tiers of the August prize.
Yay.
Your points.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm at 2, right? 2 tiers. You too, Christine? Yay! And probably Chris maybe as well, right? That is fantastic. So I'll tell you something, the points in this may sound really harsh, but the points in the $1 Million Challenge are going to tell you exactly whether or not you're building a business. And I was, I kind of was a little shocked that I didn't have more points, because I thought, oh my God, 20 points a month, that's going to be so easy. And if I'm not getting 20 points a month, how am I going to get 1,000 points in the challenge? Duh. So I'm actually going to work on breaking it down. I got this all ready to actually break down what I would have to do specifically to get 1,000 points. And I have a feeling it's going to be quite a daunting task. All right. So 3-way calls, you guys. I know that Dawn and Leanne are committed to doing this week, 1 or more. 3-way call or 3-way Zoom. Penny and I have done a few. Both her people signed up. Did some with Christine's team that were very, very rewarding and awesome. So that's another thing. I just can't tell you enough about how important it is to help people make a decision that way. It really makes a huge difference. So thank you, everyone. You know what? Next Monday's a holiday, isn't it? Is it both in Canada and in the States?
Yep.
It is. Christine, did you want to say something, or are you just agreeing? It's a holiday. All right, so next week we won't have a call. That doesn't mean that we're not still going to be posting, and, please go into that group. I can see that there are a lot of people not reading the posts for some reason. Maybe you're not getting the notifications, or maybe Facebook just says you're not reading them. But make a point to go in there. So we'll keep some stuff going, some, little daily action steps or little just to keep engaged. So we're all in there. We're a team. We're in this together. So let's, even if we don't have a call next week, so we will take a holiday, doesn't mean we're not working our plan and doing the 90-day game plan and working on things. All right.
Awesome.
And for those of you who didn't see it, I did post, I have a new time scheduler right now. So just click on an appropriate link to schedule calls with me. Penny was my tester, and so far it's working fairly well. I think Paul just scheduled something with me as well.
Yep.
I have just a random Facebook guy who wanted to connect, so I sent him a link. He scheduled a call with me, so all right.
So do we just tell you we need to schedule something and you'll send us the link?
No, the link's posted in the business group.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So it's under files.
Files. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks,
Thanks.
Steph.
Good night.
Thanks, guys.
Strong. Finish
Right.
strong. Finish strong.
Amen.
Yeah.